Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We are so excited to have you. Our webinar today is called Holiday Shopping Behavior, What to Expect from Your Customers. This is our first primary consumer research webinar presented by our Neg Elixir University, the research arm of Neg Elixir. I'm your host for today. My name is Julia Rizzio. I'm our Neg Elixir University coordinator at Neg Elixir. And once again, this is an interactive session, so please feel free to type any questions you have into the question bar on your GoToWebinar console, and then we're going to answer them at the end in the Q&A portion. And I would like to also just quickly mention that today's presentation is being recorded and will be available for future playback. And then please make sure you stick around for the end of our webinar. We have a special message for our attendees. And lastly, we always love to hear from you, so feel free to tweet at us at Neg Elixir and use the hashtag Holiday16. Sorry. Okay, here's a quick overview about who we are. For over 10 years, Neg Elixir has delivered proven search marketing strategies which uncover actionable insights that companies can use to grow their business online. We work with leading B2B and B2C brands. You can see some of our clients on the screen right here. We are a preferred partner of both Google and Bing. We are a team of 100 plus fanatically analytical search marketers operating in 3 countries. And ultimately, we combine our expertise and technology to generate demand for your digital storefront and convert it into sales. I'd also like to give a special out to our UPS attendees. We are customer technology partners with them, so special hello to everyone. Here's an overview of Neg Elixir's expertise and services. Some of the services we offer are paid search and shopping management, SEO, and paid social management. We also have technology in the form of our Elixir. It's a multi-channel online marketing technology, and we have both free and paid tools. All of our free tools are located at our Elixir marketplace, and then some of our paid tools include our Elixir SEO and then also Elixir Guide. We also offer consulting services. And ultimately, we go beyond just numbers and clicks to help you understand not only how to reach your customers, but who your customers really are and what drives them to click in the first place. Ultimately, we are data scientists who analyze search marketing data to humanize every click. We work side by side with our clients to create successful online marketing strategies that deliver real results. Okay, now on to our main event. Our speaker today is Don Rodriguez. He is the Director of Analytics at Neg Elixir. He's been a Google Analytics user since 2007. He's former e-commerce director for UTrack Art Supplies, and he also teaches MBA classes at Rutgers. So over to you, Don.
Okay, so let's jump on it. So here's what we did. We used the Google Consumer Survey tool to reach out to, this is 1,100 different individuals across the web. This data was gathered the last week of September. It was gathered in, I think, 2 to 3 days, which is one of the powerful benefits of this tool. And you can see the questions that we asked. We asked them, how much of their holiday shopping had they already finished? What were they planning to give? How important was brand name when they were buying a gift? Where are they most likely to buy a holiday gift this season? How many people they were shopping for, and how they used their mobile device during that shopping experience. There is room for error in this survey. This shows you the data on our respondent pool. So you can see that it biased, it skewed towards males and also younger when you look at these responses, right? So, and on the right, you can see an image of how this survey tool works. So for example, someone would be on a publisher's website, and in order to continue reading, let's say, a piece of premium content, they're asked to complete a survey, right? And so another thing the users, when they're presented with that option to complete the survey, they can see the first question, and they're also given an option to see another question, right? So they can have some sense for what the survey is about from that first question. So let's jump in. The way we've got this presentation formatted is we're going to give you the facts and the findings first, and then insights from those findings. And we have 7 of them. And as Julia alluded to, there is a special message for you at the end in terms of a way to get even more insights. So, so first off, this is, again, the week of September 27th, right? And nearly 1 out of 4 people who responded had completed some part of their holiday shopping. And more than 10% of them were completely done, which, you know, I'm a last minute Charlie, so that kind of just shocked me when I saw this. So, so we went out to see if we could find a comparison data point, and we found a study last year that showed that it does appear that people are shopping earlier this year. Last year in this study by the NRF and one of its partners showed that 20% of people had started before October, right? And we had, you know, 11% finished before October, and just under 25% already started. So one of our hypotheses here is, you know, could the Prime Day back in July have, you know, gobbled up some of people's holiday budgets and got them holiday shopping earlier? You know, that was the biggest sales day ever this year for Amazon, and they had a 50% increase in orders. So it is certainly a possibility. The second finding, more than half are planning to buy gifts online. Now, given that it's an online survey, that really shouldn't surprise people. But I think what is kind of eye-opening and surprising is if you look at this orange slice, 42% of the people choosing an online marketplace, you know, Amazon, eBay, etc. Right? So that is really a telling, I think, a telling sign of things to come. So the retailers in the audience, marketplaces are something that you should definitely be keeping your eyes on. So they've become a dominant force in the last several years. We found a survey from last year of retail executives that expect marketplaces to have a 40% market share by 2020, right? Which is what, just 3-4 years away, right? Sites like eBay, Amazon, Alibaba, what they offer to a retailer is, you know, quick, easy access to a large audience, right? So if you're a retailer that has been struggling to drive traffic and sales from your own e-commerce sites, right, marketplaces are something that you can consider participating in and marketing through. There are challenges for retailers when you do sell through a marketplace. Commoditization of your brand is a possibility. Unhealthy price competition. You know, Amazon has the ability to change prices, you know, almost instantaneously. You know, we found one story that said that they changed 2.5 million prices a day, right? So, and it really is a price game when you're on Amazon, right? When you look at the way that Amazon is structured, right? The sharing of customer data, right? You go participate, for example, with Amazon's marketplace, right? You don't get the customer data, right? So, and then, you know, doing business with a potential future competitor, right? You know, Amazon has a number of private brands that they have created as a result of watching items sell through their marketplace. So bottom line is you really need to weigh the pros and cons if you're a retailer of leveraging marketplaces in your marketing. Next finding, right? We're going to double click on the marketplace story a little bit because this one is kind of, can be alarming for retailers, right? So we looked at the demographic by income bracket, right? And you can see on the left that, you know, I call it the 1 percenters, the household incomes above $150,000 a year. All of them pretty much said they're going to buy from an online marketplace, right? None of them cited a retailer's website, right? So that's point number one. And then when you look at the top 3 income brackets, right, the majority of them chose the marketplace over a retailer's website, right? So that is another thing that's alarming, right? Because if you're a particular retailer who's selling to disposable or discretionary income, right, it could be a threat to you, right, or a challenge. So higher income. So are retailers' brand equity losing the battle for consumers' wallet, to more choice and lower price that you get in a marketplace, right? You go to on Amazon site, any product-specific page on Amazon site, it is so easy, right, to see Amazon's price and then their sellers' prices, right? It really is, kind of almost immediately levels the playing field, right? And then another thing, when you think about the higher income people choosing marketplaces, and this is a graph of survey results of why people shop at Amazon. And at the bottom there, you can see that price is number one. But then if you look at the other top reasons, items always in stock, the speed of delivery, wide range of choices, and the trust factor, right? You wonder, is the convenience of Amazon becoming too much to overcome, right? Particularly for higher income, busy, time-starved people. It's something to think about. Excuse me, I'm wetting my whistle. So the next insight is on how shopping behavior, where they're going to buy from, varies by age bracket, right? So this is the split by the age brackets, and and the choices again were retailer's website, a marketplace, or in store. And here are two of the things that we found. Probably not surprising to people is that the boomers, of which I'm one, prefer the in-store experience, and that could just be driven by habit, right? The thing that's kind of interesting is you look at the millennials, right, also have a preference for ordering online and picking up in store, right? And so this could be, driven by, mobile shopping, just, smartphone usage in general, and the propensity to conduct near me searches, right? So that's kind of interesting. Next insight, and this is the one that when I first was going through the data, that I immediately gravitated to, right, as being very interesting, particularly from a retailer standpoint. 82% of the respondents placed little or no emphasis on brand name when buying a holiday gift, right? 82%, right? It's a huge number, right? So if you think about that, the questions that it kind of poses are, are buying preferences being increasingly influenced by price and promotions, right? If you think about the growth of marketplaces and the easy price competition that happens there, right? It's possible. Again, are marketplaces where you can, even Google Shopping, where you can see 22 stores and compare price on a particular item, right? Is that commoditizing of the brand of that item, right? Here's the one that I sort of gravitated to is, during the holidays, if you are not the number one player, right? If you're number two or number three in a category, there's probably an opportunity to take share from the number one brand using paid search. If, for example, that category is like a gift item category, right? So I'll give you two examples here. One on the bottom is, Google Shopping ads. And, I'm using Estee Lauder Beautiful, my wife's favorite perfume, as my example. And I highlighted there the second one from the left, which is from a site called Fragrance Net, right? And what I'm highlighting there is the use of a special offer, what they call the merchant promotion feed, right, to make that stand out, right? So, if you're not, let's say, a heavy Macy's fan or Target fan, right, and you're looking to buy Estee Lauder and you see that somebody's offering a deal, right, there's an opportunity to grab some share, right? And I asked a few people in our office if they've ever heard of Fragrance Net, and none of them had, right? So On the right is granted, this is not a consumer product, but I was looking for an example where competitors are bidding on other companies' brand names, which you're allowed to do, right, in Google. And so that's 4imprint, which is a competitor to one of our clients, and then two other competitors bidding on 4imprint's name, right? So again, people aren't brand centric when they're gifting during the holidays, right? There's an opportunity to find the number one brand and promote yourself on that brand name term. So something to think about. The next one is looking at the categories of gifts that respondents are going to give. And gift cards and cash dominated every age bracket except for the youngest, the 18 to 24-year-olds. And so what we think is even more interesting is if you look at the millennials, right, they are the top givers of an experience gift, right, which is very, the millennials have a reputation as being an experience-oriented generation, right, and that data point just kind of, reinforces that perception. The second takeaway we took from this is that the clothing, shoes, and jewelry, right, so, sort of common gift categories, tends to skew younger, right? So the question that asks is, are you taking advantage of demographic bid adjustments that we can do now in paid search, right? So if you are in one of those buckets, right, you have the options to bid adjust by gender and age on Google's search pages with your text ads. And then second question is, are you promoting your gift cards and gift certificates throughout the holiday season? I think it's very typical of retailers to promote gift cards and e-gift certificates right at the end, right, when you're getting to that period where it's questionable whether or not the gift will arrive on time, right? But this shows you that, right, it's a relevant thing to be marketing all the time and promoting all the time to your audience. Last finding, we asked about mobile. So let me take 2 seconds here to explain what you're looking at. So the question was, I mostly use my mobile device too, and then we had 4 options that they could choose. They could research gift ideas, they could research a certain product, they could buy gifts online, or they could search for coupons in store. Those were the 4 options. And it was one of those questions where you could choose multiple options. Okay, so what you're looking at here is bar number 1 is the largest single response we got for any of the 4, which is researching a certain product. 30% of the people chose that. Now bars number 2, 3, and 4 represent the largest responses for when people chose 2 items, 3 items, and all 4 items. And so what's kind of fascinating to me is that the people who chose just 2 items, they were researching a certain product or researching gift ideas in general, right? Then when you move to the number of people, respondents who chose 3 items, right, it grows to a little over 50%. And it adds the buying gifts online. So it's researching the certain product, researching ideas, buying online. And then the largest segment of respondents chose all 4, which is 62% of the audience said they do all 4 of those activities using their mobile devices, right? So the takeaways from that is, from a mobile user experience, you need to be thinking about the entire customer journey, right? From, initial idea all the way through purchase or to an in-store purchase. Not just top of the funnel and thinking they'll convert on their desktop or tablet later, right? Because people are buying on their mobile devices too. So you have to be thinking about all aspects of the funnel. The usage, as you would expect, as this graph here on the left shows, skews younger. So if I were to show you the graph for each of the 4 options, it would look very similar, right, in terms of descending order from youngest to oldest, right? And I think the other key takeaway is The fact that researching a certain product was the #1 activity, right, that anybody chose, right, is an opportunity for your PLA ads on mobile during the holidays. You want to make sure that you're represented well with your PLA ads on mobile. And that image there on the right is, for example, a simulated Galaxy S6, right, shopping for a Lenovo Yoga, right? So you want to make sure you're there for all those specific items that people are going to be researching and looking for on their mobile devices, all right? So let me summarize. First, #1 gift category is gift cards and cash for everybody except 18 to 24-year-olds. 82% of respondents place little emphasis on brand name when buying a gift, right? So there's an opportunity for lesser brands to grab share, right? More than half are planning to buy online, with a good chunk of them citing online marketplaces like Amazon or eBay. So for those of you who market already on Amazon and eBay, that's good news for you. Millennials are the most likely to gift an experience over a tangible item. So if there's anyone on this call who sells experiences, you should definitely be aiming at those younger age brackets. People are already shopping, right? So if you haven't really fully implemented your holiday stuff yet, you need to be doing that sooner rather than later. And the largest segment of users uses that mobile device through all stages, like we were just talking about, right? You need to focus on all elements of the purchase funnel. And then finally, demographic bid adjustments, right? If you're in those gift categories, leverage your demographic bid adjustments during the holidays. All right, and with that, I will conclude and turn it over to Julia again.
Thanks, Don. So since we only had 30 minutes today for our webinar, and our Google consumer survey actually had so much more information for us to share, we're going to start a new weekly consumer insight. It's almost like a tip of the week type newsletter. So for insights like what you saw in our webinar and more, we would like you to sign up. To sign up, it's very simple. Just email us at university@NetElixir. So if you look to the left, it says millennials are more likely than any other age group to gift an experience over a tangible item. So every single Monday morning in your inbox, you would see an insight like this. Very snackable, quick bite for you to learn more about our Google consumer survey. And this is going to be a yearly thing. So please, if you're interested in learning more, please email us at university@NetElixir to subscribe. And here are our sources. And now I would like to open the floor up for questions. And once again, you could type in questions in the bottom of your control panel. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, we have one question.
The question is, do we have data on what category of products higher income people buy on Amazon? I don't know if you can slice it that way. Right, we can't because the
right, different people.
Yeah, yeah. The way that the Google consumer survey works, we can't, what's the word I'm looking for? We can't like slice the data by two different questions, because in some cases the respondent pool for question number 4 is different from the respondent pool for question number 5. Hopefully that makes sense. Are there advertising options in these marketplaces? Yes, there are. Amazon does paid search. I'm pretty sure eBay does paid ads as well, sponsored ads. Etsy does as well. So, oh, okay. Next question. Key recommendations for retailers who don't serve millennials. To me, I think, again, the one that really leapt out at me is the brand preference, right? So if you are a retailer, right, and either even if you're vertically integrated or not, right, there's an opportunity to grab share on, let's say, your top selling brands, right, or let's say brands you sell that might be not the leaders in their category, with, you know, offers and incentives for people to buy from you, right? So, you know, as like the example that I gave with the fragrancenet.com, right? Maybe not one of the top sellers of fragrances, but can get themselves in front of people who are buying that gift. So, okay, that's all the time we've got for today. We appreciate your attendance. Okay.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you again, everyone, for attending our webinar. We really appreciate it. And once again, this webinar will be available for playback, and we will also be sending out the slides. Thank you again, everyone.